Hi, Scorpio, my fellow Scorps. Welcome to your April Candlelight Love reading. The Candlelight Love readings were back by popular demand. Some of you have mentioned that to me during the private readings, like, hey, whatever happened to the Candlelight Tarot? Well, here it is, guys. People have been asking for it, so it is back. We're going to see what is happening in the love life of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of April. And I'm going to pull more cards than I usually do for the love reading. We're going to get a few extra little elements and angles here. And it's been really interesting because as I've been sitting down this month for your love readings, I've been hearing a song for a lot of the signs. Like a song has been popping up in my head. And we'll see if anything comes in my head as I'm laying out the cards for Scorpio. If any songs kind of pop up. Ooh, I got Oasis Wonderwall. I typically don't like that song. I like the song. And I like the band. Even though I know there's a lot of Oasis haters out there. It's okay. You can hate on Oasis. I don't care. I like them. And I know it's kind of an old song. I promise you I know recent songs, but for whatever reason, the older songs have been coming up in the readings. I kind of don't typically think of that as a love song simply because it sounds kind of codependent, like you're waiting to be rescued. But I don't feel like it's you, Scorpio. I don't feel like it's you, like, oh, this person is coming and saving me. I feel it's more so like you being in a good place and you're bringing magic into somebody's life, or you're renewing someone's faith in love. Or it could be you. Maybe somebody's coming along and renewing your faith in love. But I don't know, Scorpio. I'm not really getting like that save me kind of energy from you all. I could be wrong. I could have it reversed. But we'll see what the cards have to say. We'll see what the cards have to say. Or maybe some of you are like, you know, like meeting a really heroic person, like a rescue response person, like a firefighter or a doctor or something. I don't know. Maybe some of you are meeting a pretty cool superhero. Let's see. Let's see what the cards have to say. Alrighty. So, at the heart and at the center of it, we have the Death card. Typically, people see the Death card and they freak out. But there's two cards that maybe people get scared when they see that in my readings. Every time I've pulled it for myself or for a client, it's been right before something really awesome and really amazing and super, super great. And those two cards are the Ten of Swords and the Death card. Okay, Death card is about transformation. And I'll tell you why it's good that it's coming up here. Because the Scorpio, astrological zodiac Scorpio sign is associated with the Death card. So when you have your major arcana come up in a reading for your zodiac sign, it says that you're coming into the really powerful, positive elements of your sign. And so for Scorpio, it's all about transformation, right? That's the one thing about Scorpio. Scorpio is endless. Scorpio is constantly regenerating. Scorpio is the phoenix rising from the ashes. Scorpio is forever improving and growing and moving forward. So some of you are ending the old cycles of love life that no longer work for you. Okay, whatever your old negative patterns were in love, bye-bye, gone. Okay, gone, over, done. And a lot of it could be this, Libra full moon was really powerful and clearing. Now we have Uranus and Taurus. We have a lot of things happening in the planetary lineup, that nasty, nasty cycle that Saturn was going through the last 12 years or whatever, that ended this past summer. that did a number on some Scorpios. I know many Scorpios who had like a really rough decade, you know, but a lot of the energy is shifting right now. So whatever kind of was holding you back, or whatever negative habit you had that was harming you or sabotaging you in love, gone. Some of you are even going through this complete and total like transformation. Like you're going through um kind of making new friends. Some of you might be changing your look. Not that there was anything wrong with your look before, but you just might be feeling like, hey, I'm just kind of new energy, new me. I'm ready to do something different with my wardrobe and with my, you know, stuff that I have in my, you know, surroundings. Maybe I just don't like these bed sheets anymore, or it's time for new curtains, or whatever it might be. Just some of you are like bringing in new material things into your energy or into your environment, new clothes, maybe a new hair color or a new hairdo. Maybe some of you are shaving your head, you know, whatever it is, whatever is going on, whatever feels amazing to you. But, you know, just coming into that element of changing things, okay? So just transformation, like a whole new life, whole new energy. Oh gosh. So here's kind of like what is the issue at hand. Okay? We've got King of Cups. All right? So for me, King of Cups can be someone who's super generous. But again, right, with all of the tarot cards, they're just like people and personalities, where there can be high points, there can be positive attributes of the personality and negative attributes of the personality. And some people say that King of Swords can be, when at its negative traits, like a stingy person or a withholding person. So I feel some of you Scorpios are coming into this energy of finding the balance of being open and taking initiative in a relationship, and kind of making somebody work for something. Okay? Because when I see King of Cups, it makes me think of like husband and father. Okay, so for some of you, marriage is at hand here. Marriage is an issue at hand. Maybe some of you are trying to decide if you want to stay in a marriage or not. Maybe some of you are trying to figure out if you want to get married or not. Maybe some of you are manifesting a marriage mate. But when I see King of Swords, I keep saying the different names. King of Cups. I know what this card is. I swear I do. King of Cups. So when I see King of Cups, it gives me the sense and the feeling, like I said, of like that generous but firm and fair father type energy, where maybe like the kid is like, oh, I really want to use the car this weekend, and you know, King of Cups is like, sure, you can use the car this weekend and I'll give you some, you know, spending money, but first you have to make sure that, you know, you've gone through and you've finished these list of chores to do around the house, or you have to make sure that you did all your chores, and you better, you know, have a good report card coming in, or you better, like, you know, pass that test that's coming up in school, or whatever it might be. You have to have a good grade. Like there's requirements. You know, King of Cups is nobody's fool. King of Cups can be generous, but you need to be walking the line to receive that generosity. King of Cups is not a bleeding heart, where he's going to just feel sorry for everybody and just like, okay, here you go, here you go, here you go. So some of you are coming into that energy, right? Maybe some of you have made the mistake in the past of being too aloof or too distant, or playing too hard to get, or being too withholding with your emotion, and you're coming into a nice healthy balance when it's coming into love life this time around. Next card here is telling us what is the energy influencing the situation. And when I see Page of Pentacles, it gives me the sense and the feeling of like this new endeavor. You guys are just wanting something new. You're wanting something new. So some of you who are in a relationship for a long time, you may just be itching for some kind of excitement. And you're having to decide, can I talk to my partner and get some new energy into this, or do I want a new person? Some of you Scorpios have been so busy working on yourself and your life and what's going on with you that you haven't really been making love a priority, or you haven't been thinking about it. And now that this new energy is coming in, you're like, I want to do something with this new energy. Like, I kind of want to go out there and try my hand, or I kind of want to open up and see what's going on. Some of you are getting into like this energy of where you're feeling very inspired to be around inspirational and influential people, and that I'm hearing that now, and that makes sense to me why that song came up in my head, the Maybe You're Gonna Be the One That Saves Me song. Not because you're looking for someone to rescue you, but because you're on such a strong connection with your own transformation and seeing the positivity and the beauty in life and having abundance coming in. Even if you're not in abundance in this moment, you know it's coming in. You can see success down the road, and you're wanting to do something like useful with it. So some of you are wanting to be around other inspirational people, or people who are making a difference. So maybe some of you are getting involved with certain like charity organizations, or some form of volunteering, or some kind of work in the community, and you're beginning to get around people who are doing very inspirational things. Some of you might be getting to like energy where you're going to be around like first responders and things like that, or like military people, or whatever it might be. And so you might be meeting somebody there that's very much in that way. Or you're just kind of in that energy of meeting people who are making a change and making a difference, who are like the unsung heroes of the community, yet they are heroes nonetheless. I just feel like, Scorpio, you're coming into really badass energy, and you're wanting to be around the other badasses. I feel like a lot of you are feeling like the people you were hanging out with before, or the people you were doing things with before, just doesn't resonate anymore. You don't have any hard feelings. Maybe there was bitterness, maybe there were disagreements, maybe there were people talking crap about you behind your back, but you're over it. Like, you're not holding those resentments anymore. You've healed from it, and you're just ready. You're ready for your tribe. You're ready for, but I'm hearing like badass. Like, you're ready for those kind of people. You don't have any patience for the in between. You don't want the lukewarm. Like, you want uh um you want some strong energy around you. You don't have patience for weak energy right now. So this is letting us know what has happened in the past that maybe you're being very concerned about, or that maybe is causing you to be a little reluctant moving forward in your love life. And we have the Fool card here. Now, this is giving me a sense or a feeling that in the past, maybe Scorpio, you have jumped into certain relationships, which Scorpio, don't get me wrong, Scorpio are very, very uh, about connection, right? Connection with people. And so sometimes they might have a misunderstood reputation where they think, oh, Scorpios are super sexual, and Scorpios are just all about like, physical connection. But what they don't understand is that for Scorpio, they need to feel very connected with a person to be able to be in that energy. So maybe some of you in the past, you feel like you jumped into a relationship, or something got really hot and heavy, but it got out of hand, or it ended badly, and you feel like, man, I rushed into that. Or I tell myself I'm gonna be cautious, or I tell myself I'm gonna, it's like some of you go through very long periods of being single, and somebody will come along, and then all of a sudden you're going from 0 to 60. You're going from single for like forever and a day to just like, oh my god, like I want to be with this person for the rest of my life, like within a week. And you're like, man, I really jumped into that. Well, the Fool card is letting us know that it's kind of not your fault that happened, because it's a major arcana card, so it's letting us know that there were significant soulmates in the past. It doesn't mean that the universe is telling you to go ahead and, like, jump in head first and not think and not plan and not be cautious. It's just saying that maybe that energy is behind you now. Whatever needed to be learned with those kinds of soulmates, whatever needed to be done has been done. Some of you have been on a spiritual path ever since. Some of you that had you not had that jumping in with that soulmate where things went bad or things went poorly, or whatever may have happened, maybe you even had a broken heart, a really bad broken heart, but it put you on the path of where you're supposed to be heading. It opened up your eyes. It gave you an awakening. It brought you into your badass energy. And now you're going to get to go and be with all the other badasses. And you're going to be able to, be with a partner that truly, truly reflects that energy of yours. Okay, so don't see those past things as like a failure on your part or a dysfunction on your part, because it made you who you are today and it brought you to where you are today, and that path today is aligning you with this bigger and greater love. This next card that I'm about to show you is going to let us know what is happening in your energy at the time of watching this reading, okay? So whenever that might be. If it's before April, mid-April, end of April, sometime way after April, if you fell upon this video, there's messages for you. And this is telling us what Spirit wants you to work on in the present moment, okay? This is Five of Swords, okay? And so typically for me, Five of Swords is kind of like this lesson and not letting an argument or situation escalate or getting out of hand. Like calming yourself down before having a conversation or a discussion, because if you're not careful, it can really, really get like overblown because emotions might be high or might be running deep. But I'm not necessarily getting that feeling in that card. Maybe that's the sense for some of you, but overall, what I'm hearing intuitively and feeling about this card in this instance is not to write somebody off so quickly. Scorpio is a very intuitive sign. Scorpio sees through people, right? And Scorpio can make a decision very quickly about, like, am I gonna be in this relationship or not? Now, if somebody has proven themselves to be distrustful to you or unfaithful or unloyal or whatever, by all means, write that person off. That's not the instance that I'm talking about. I'm talking about with this new person coming in or new love coming in, or if you have a relationship with someone that, is really, really making an effort and showing you that they're making changes, don't be so quick to write it off. Don't be so quick to say, oh, well, here's where this person's flaws are. Okay, everybody's going to have flaws. And because Scorpios can see through people, we can see the flaws very, very clearly, but try to also look at the good. I do feel in some ways the reason why you're being asked not to write somebody off so quickly is because I feel it's the negative ego sabotaging this connection or wanting to push this connection away or wanting to convince you that, oh, well, it's not going to work out anyway, so never mind. Like, because that's like the feeling that I'm getting. Oh, here's why it's not going to work out, never mind. And Spirit's saying, don't do that. Don't do that. You've done it in the past. Don't do it again. Try to see the positive, right? And if at the end of the day, if you're very, very honest, right? Very honest, and if you're looking at it objectively, and if you see that the positive outweighs the negative, give it a chance. Because I almost feel like some of you are getting pulled in by somebody, and then you're like, oh, you're not that great. Whatever. You don't fool me. You can fool everybody else thinking you're all like, Mr. or Miss Amazing or whatever, but you don't fool me. Don't do that. You've done it before. Don't do that again. Okay, so the near future around this situation is Two of Cups. What did I tell you, Scorpio? What did I tell you? Give it a chance. Give it a chance, Scorpio. You have Two of Cups. So when I see Two of Cups, it's like soulmate relationship. It's healing, it's equality, it's communication. It's like this is like the right match, or a perfect match, okay? Two of Cups is a healthy love relationship. It's no more codependency. No more competitiveness. Scorpio, I feel that's been an issue for some of you in past relationships, I'm hearing. Not that you've been competitive, but I feel that because maybe you came off to some people as very like independent or intelligent or strong, you may have been in relationships with people that kind of tried to knock you down a couple of pegs. Like they wanted to put you in your place in some way, or they wanted to compete with you in some way, or prove to you that they were smarter, or they were better at something, or they were gonna like outsmart you or be sneakier or whatever. So some of you haven't really had like loyal relationships or loyal soulmates. You had soulmates that maybe were trying really hard to change you or influence you or overpower you in some way. Well, this relationship moving forward is not going to be that way. This is someone that appreciates everything about you for what it is in this moment now. This person is not trying to change you. This person is appreciating those elements and aspects of your personality, and you're appreciating them for who they are. And there's just this working together, moving forward, understanding each other. Some of you, I feel like you even feel, I don't want to say you feel worried, but you're like, we never fight, we never argue. Like, is that a red flag? Is that dangerous? Like, is this person just always agreeing with me for the sake of agreeing with me? No. I just feel like there are times when this person doesn't agree with you, or you don't agree with them, but you're in such a healthy energy to where the communication is so good that you guys are able to talk about things and work them out and have these conversations without things getting heated and coming to an understanding. So it's not that you always agree on every little thing. It's just that it's a healthy, high vibrational relationship. So when there's discussions and conversations, you're able to figure things out without it escalating, without it becoming fights, without it becoming arguments. Okay? And so that might be very new for some of you. I feel very strongly some of you are calling in, though, somebody who in some way is connected to like a healing path. Okay? You know, some of you are like, oh, I have a crush on my dentist. Is it my dentist? That's kind of healing. They heal my teeth. Or like whatever. I don't know. I just heard that. You know who you are. I just heard that. Gosh, I don't know. It could be that some of you are really connecting with like some kind of somebody who's into energy healing, or somebody who's intuitive and doing healing in that way. But I don't know, like I think some of you are connecting with like somebody that's saving lives. Okay, somebody that's saving lives, or at least impacting lives. Okay, somebody who's impacting lives. This could be like someone who's really involved in some kind of like helping the community in some way. Maybe they volunteer with at-risk youth. Maybe it's somebody that's doing some kind of crisis counseling. It could be somebody who's like on the police force, or a first responder, like that kind of energy. But just someone who's making a difference. I'm just getting such a feeling of like nobleness, like somebody who's noble, somebody who's brave, somebody who has really, really high ethics, okay? And when you find this person, and if they've got a brother, call me, let me know. I don't know, or whatever it might be. I don't know. I just think some of you are really manifesting this really, really like rock, like just a rock of a person. And I don't mean the rock, but like just this rock of a person. Okay. Again, that's for some of you. It is a general reading. Okay, so it's not going to be the same exact scenario for each and every single one of you, but definitely manifesting a very solid, very healthy, very, very desirable love. So your situation here in this power, your power here in this situation, if I could not be dyslexic with my mouth, what I meant to say, your power in this situation, it's the moon card. Okay, so some of you may have Pisces in your moon or in your rising, and you're being encouraged to connect with that side of yourself, with that element of yourself, that Pisces energy. Or maybe taking advantage of the Pisces energy that's happening planetarily right now. I am not like an astrologer. I am not an expert by any means. My understanding of I was gonna say Scientology. Astrology, not Scientology. Although I don't really know much about Scientology either. Gosh, yeah, you do readings and your tongue starts getting really twisted when you do them back to back, my dears. My understanding of astrology is very, very limited. Very, very limited. I mean, it's basic, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Now, I don't know if I want to stay limited because that sounds like I know nothing about it. I know some about it, but it's basic. I'm not an expert. So something was happening with Pisces. I don't know. Something was in Pisces. So I don't know. Maybe some of you Scorpios are picking up on that energy. Okay. Overall, though, it could be that for a lot of you, you're just going inward. You're focusing and connecting with your creativity, your intuition. Sometimes the moon card can mean that there's some secret that's being kept or being held. And so maybe you're being encouraged to let something out. Okay. So that secret could be many, many, many things. You know, it doesn't have to be anything like soap opera status where it's like super scandalous and juicy, but it could just be some way in which you haven't been true to yourself. And there's some aspect about your personality or your desires or your goals that the universe is encouraging you to be more open about. Okay, because that's going to really help manifest and move along this love more quickly. I do feel overall this is going to be about allowing yourself to open up. Okay, Scorpio, we have a lot of layers. We have a lot of layers. So as this person is coming in, maybe you're like, well, you know, I kind of want to go easy here. I don't want to scare this person off with all of my Scorpio layers. But you don't want to hold back too much either, because you may come off to this person that you're being aloof or that you're being really guarded, and they're all like, oh, I like mystery, but I'm a little suspicious right now. What's going on over here? So ask your angels and guides to help you find the right balance. Obviously, you know, we've all got things about, you know, ourselves that maybe we're worried about revealing to someone, or we think that maybe they're not going to want to have a relationship with us if, you know, they know too much about our past, or too much about, I don't know, an insecurity or something, or it, you know, it could be whatever it is, some kind of obstacle or something that you have in your life. But everybody has them to different extent and different degree. You know, nobody is 100% like, you know, without any kind of obstacle. So, you know, you obviously you might not want to go in and put everything out on the table on the first date, but you do need to little by little open up, right? Or even just express your feelings. Maybe it's not even about like an insecurity or an obstacle that you have, but just opening up and letting yourself connect, letting yourself be in that emotional intimacy. Maybe in the past, you know, you've had these relationships where people have felt you were too intense emotionally, and so now like you're trying to like pace yourself, which is all, you know, wonderful and great. But the right person, the right soulmate, they're gonna like that intensity about you, right? So don't hold back too much. Again, ask your angels and guides to help you find the perfect balance. Okay, the way that you're being viewed or seen in the situation by your partner or by your loved one is the Magician card. They think you're pretty magical. They think you're pretty magical. But they also, in some places, some ways, it's not that they don't believe you that you're magical and that you're good at manifesting things and creating opportunities, right? For some of you, maybe you're like this like magical entrepreneur type person and they're impressed with what you've been able to create for yourself on your own in a creative way. Or maybe they see that you're at the start of like this really fresh new beginning. They recognize and they understand that you're in this new energy. They're definitely picking it up even if they haven't known you from before. But it could also be like they're wanting to know like what's up your sleeve. What's up your sleeve? What are you hiding there, magician? Where do you have the rabbits? Where are you hiding the rabbits that you're pulling out of the hats? So this person's like looking to try to understand you. They don't want to like pull you, like uncover you or reveal you as some liar or some fake. It's not about that. Like they just want to understand you, and so they feel like you might be holding back. I think in some ways. I think that's why you got the moon card. Okay, so like don't be too aloof. Overall, they see the very positive traits about you. They feel that you're very different. I feel like this person that's coming in is very different from anybody you've known before, because they're very much of like that badass energy, and maybe some of you have felt like you've been around people who've been not in that intense kind of badass energy. And they're just seeing you as just very magical, very different, very different. Maybe they're just used to being in a world where everything is just, business as usual and logical and very disciplined, and this is how it's gonna be. And you have these layers. You're kind of like all of these different things. They might see you as like all of the zodiac signs in one, or something like that. And they just want to understand like who is the you underneath all of that. Like is like maybe some of it's smoke and mirrors. They don't know. They're trying to figure that out. They're wanting to know who's behind, who's the Wizard of Oz, who's behind the curtain. They want to know who's behind the curtain. This next card is telling us kind of like what it is that you're focusing on or what you're manifesting. So we have the Emperor. Okay? So some of you are really, really manifesting a stability, confidence, independence. Like you're wanting the relationship, but you're also wanting somebody who's not going to tread on you or somebody who's not going to hold you back. And you don't want to push over either. And that might be why some of you have been, kind of like single for a while, but it's going to change. Like this is the time it's changing. And if it's not happening in April, then, the wheels are moving in April, and sometime before the spring ends, you're manifesting this kind of a partner. Some of you you want a badass. I get it. I understand. You're a badass. You want a badass. You are manifesting that. Okay? Your outcome is the Chariot, another major arcana card. So I feel like this is really funny. I feel like this is what the message is in this instance with this Chariot card coming up. So many of you have been going through that transformation. At the very, very heart in the center of it, we had that death card coming up that's letting us know that you're going through a transformation and everything is changing. And it's kind of like you're going through like this rapture, you're going through this shift, you're going through this change, and you're looking for your sanctuary, you're looking for where you're gonna land. So I almost feel like what's happening is as you're moving forward to where you want to land, that's when love is coming in. You're not landing based on who you fall in love with or who you start dating. You're going in the direction, and you're manifesting that soulmate. You're running into that soulmate as you're going in that direction. Okay? So one of the meanings about the Chariot card is choosing a direction, deciding where you want to go, and then independently getting there on your own without a whole lot of help. It could also indicate like going to a city of safety, like what they call them sanctuary cities. Today, sanctuary city, because of the political climate, has a little bit of a different meaning with the whole immigration stuff, but it didn't have anything to do with immigration back in the day. Like when you heard sanctuary city, it meant that like if you had committed some wrong, or you had done something you weren't supposed to do, if you get to a sanctuary city, you couldn't be prosecuted, or you couldn't like you served your time there and then you could return home. Okay, so I'm not saying some of you did something bad and you're going to be running from the law or anything like that, but I do feel a lot of you have just been looking for like that place, like my place, where I'm meant to be. And because you're going through the transformation, you're starting to connect with people with like energy. You're getting involved in things that are meaningful for you. Some of you are even taking big steps in your career or career changes, and you're manifesting that soulmate in that process. Okay, the person's coming in through that process. So that's really exciting. You've been holding out for a hero, and now here they are. And it's not because you needed to be rescued. It's because you wanted somebody strong enough to like match up with your energy and with like the things that you've been through, right? You don't want to carry anybody anymore. It's not that you're looking for somebody to rescue you. You just want somebody who's, going to be able to do what you've done for so long. And just like hold it down. Be sure to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos as well, my darlings. Some weeks I always say weeks, some months that might resonate with you more, but overall it could bring in extra information depending on what's in your planetary makeup. It's very, very helpful to look at those. And guys, I don't just do love readings. Every single week for each zodiac sign, I do a reading based about like money and work life and career and family and spirituality and all that important stuff. So be sure to check out the weekly forecasts as well. They're very, very helpful. And I thank you so much for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. If you liked that video, it takes less than a second. Please hit the like button. Leave me a comment, say hello. I appreciate it. It helps me help the videos get seen. And if you would like a private reading, feel free to click on the Calendly link and schedule a private reading with me as well. Thank you so very much for just being here and subscribing and following and being a part of my journey and letting me be part of yours. Wishing you an amazing April.